Welcome into another Coach's CatChat. Joe Stewart out here with Linfield Director of Golf, Mitch Wilson, out at Michael Buck Country Club on a beautiful day. As Mitch, you guys are really into your spring season here. Looks like the team's having a great time over there on the practice green. How are things going right now?
Things are great. I mean, you can't beat this weather, right? So it's perfect. I mean, we're just on a fun kind of break right now, but we're excited to kind of get ramped up here in a little bit.
Yeah, and some changes for you this year. You were able to bring in some help on the coaching standpoint. First of all, is that you've got a new co-head coach on the women's side, Tina Kelly, member here at Michael Buck, and tell us how that's kind of helped everything this year and given you both some time to work with the team more individually and for you to kind of do things more operationally too.
Yeah, I mean, Tina's been phenomenal. I will say it's probably one of the greatest hires we've ever had at Linfield. I will say, I mean, just watching Tina here as a member, I mean, she owns the club, the team, or the Michael Buck Club Championship for years, and so having that experience, her college experience, plus a little bit of coaching experience on top of it, just to bring her in here to help with the ladies side of things and her mindset and to help improve what we're trying to look for, it's been phenomenal. So I'm super blessed. I'm super lucky to have someone like Tina to join us. I think we've seen that progression so fast with her on staff, so it's been really fun.
That's fantastic. We'll be catching up with Tina in a little bit here to talk about the ladies. So let's go into the men's with your team here. And, it's kind of been an interesting spring season. You had the early start down in February. Great experience to get to go down to California in a tournament hosted by Lewis and Clark down at Victoria Country Club. And now you're gearing up for the Willamette Valley Cup. Still another week away from when we're taping this here. But now that we've had some nice weather a little bit these last few days, where do you say the men's team is kind of in their progress right now and in their training cycle of the spring season?
I feel like it's phenomenal. Going down to California, that's probably the earliest we've ever started in the spring. I felt like it was a really great opportunity for us just to go out and test the water, right? And so go play in a big regional event, play with some other phenomenal golf programs across the West Coast. It was kind of a perfect storm for us, to be honest. We had some guys get super sick before, and some guys got super sick on the trip, and so it kind of played into that a little bit. Unfortunately, we had a couple withdrawals and things like that. So I felt like we were right there to compete, but things happen, and we just have to adjust on the fly. So I think being in those positions and just kind of see where we stack up was really important. And so it's a weird layover for us, almost a month off. But it's been great. I mean, the guys are just qualifying right now. We've been qualifying for the last 3.5 weeks, and so I think they're ready for that competitive edge and getting back into a tournament play and seeing what they can do. So
looking back at last season, a really solid 23-24 for Linfield men's golf, as you guys had your second place, third straight finish after you were leading the field on day one at the Northwest Conference tournament. So I'm sure that was a little bit disappointing, but after finishing top three these last couple of years, it really feels like the men are squarely in Northwest Conference contention. Picked third again here in the midseason poll. What are some things that you think really went well for the team throughout the course of the year last year that you've seen carry over into the fall and now here into the early spring season?
Yeah, I think just what we've done last year, what that group of players have brought to the table, it was huge to carry over into this year. It's been fun to see these new faces kind of step up to the plate and really kind of exert themselves into the lineup is what we're looking for. I mean, any year where you're graduating 6 seniors, 6 guys who kind of reestablish what the program's going to be and also perform the way that they did. We want these guys to kind of learn from them and kind of continue to project forward. And so, I mean, it was tough. Going to the conference championship and leading both days. In a good spot. But I think it's been fun to see these younger guys understand, like, hey, it can be done. This is where we need to be. With the new scoring format, I mean, it's anyone's ball game in the conference. And again, we talk about all the time is there's 6-7 schools in our conference that can win the conference title this year. And so with the new scoring format, it allows all these teams to continue to compete. And I think we're in a really cool, fun spot to do that. And to be able to wrap up the season coming at the end of the spring here at our home course for the conference championship, it's going to be super fun. So
that's a big one to look forward to. I know we all are for the NWC tournament here at Michael Buck for the first time in a while. Talking about the fall a little bit, third again at the NWC
Yep.
Fall Classic, and then a little bit of a step back in the Confluence Classic before a really strong finish in a tournament hosted by Bushnell for a second-place finish led by Douglas Bailey's second place. What were your biggest takeaways about the fall working with this young group that lost a lot of experience last season?
Yeah, it was, the huge combination of the new faces coming in and kind of getting them, again, reestablished to the program. And golf's just a funny sport in that way where guys are qualifying every single week. So we're trying to find the right lineups, who we want to compete in every single tournament. I think we found kind of that rhythm a little bit. Confluence was a little bit of a step back for us, but to finish out the fall the way that we did was really impressive. I mean, going to play Eugene Country Club and then Emerald Valley right after, two tough golf courses, but phenomenal golf courses as well. So to have us, finish the way we did, and use that to project us into the spring was been pretty fun. So I'm just looking to continue to push that forward, that momentum forward as we continue into the spring.
6 seniors is a lot to graduate, especially with those guys and how many, as we mentioned, how much they contributed over their 4 years here. But this has turned into looking like a pretty strong group here through this fall, particularly looking at your top 3, kind of looking like Zach LaPlaca, the junior transfer Kellen George, and Douglas Bailey, of course, burst onto the scene last year for a terrific freshman year. What do you like about this group, particularly in the competitive part of the lineup that you think you're going to be sending? What are kind of the strengths and weaknesses of the team this year that you think could benefit to making a run at the NWC tournament?
Yeah, I feel like where we're at right now, and we talk about it every day, we got to make practice the hardest part of our week, and so the guys do a phenomenal job as far as we're going to compete every single week and make the tournaments fun. That's kind of our mindset, and so they do a great job. All 11 guys show up every single day. They're going to push each other with qualifying, every drill that we do, things we do on the golf course, and so it's been really fun to watch Zach LaPlaca, a guy who battle his way into the lineup as a junior, even a little bit as a sophomore, but with that group of seniors. And so he's been able to kind of take that leadership role and move it into what we want to do now. Douglas is playing super solid, everything that we continue to ask for him to do. And Kellen's playing great. I mean, just a transfer to come in, establish his place in the lineup, establish his place within the team has been pretty fun to watch. And so with those 3 guys kind of leading the charge, I think everybody else is kind of growing into those roles that they're kind of building, and continue to push forward is what we're hoping to see come the end of April while we compete for the conference championship.
As you get through this long layoff here, back from the West Coast Invite, working into the Willamette Valley Cup coming up in a couple weeks, you mentioned want practice to be hard, but the tournaments to be fun.
Yeah.
What do you want to see these last kind of week and a half going into that first tournament back against the full Northwest Conference slate?
Yeah, like I said, guys are qualifying this weekend. That's the hard part. Is they're going to put in the work to make sure that they're trying to qualify as best they can to get into that lineup for us to go compete at the Willamette Valley Cup. And so, right now we just want to see that level of competitiveness every single week. Practically every day, right? And that's what we're asking for. And so I think we're right there. Guys are bringing it every single day. It's been really fun to watch guys play match play during the week, things that we're trying to evaluate and look at, and they're bringing it, every single day. And so that's what we're trying to continue to push and drive forward through our program. And I can't ask for more than that, And so at the end of the day, we do all the hard stuff during the week, and so on Saturday and Sunday we just tee it up and see what happens.
Well, it sounds like you've got a really fun group this year, and it's going to be a really exciting season for Linfield men's golf. They're getting back into competition on March 15th and 16th down in Salem at Creekside Golf Course, hosted by the Willamette Bearcats, as they'll get into action for the first time in about a month since going down to Cali for the West Coast Invite, looking for a bounce-back performance and looking to fuel it into a strong April when they'll be hosting the Northwest Conference Tournament right here at Michael Buck Country Club. Coach, thanks for the time.
Joe, thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Thank you.